How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy With It. I'm Lou, and today we're opening up something else new from Kickstarter, and that is a very loud clinking Ares Expedition. This is the 3 expansions: Discovery, Foundations, and Crisis. And then we're going to go ahead and see if we can get everything from the original, plus this, back in the box. With that said, let's go ahead and flip over the camera and see what comes in the new expansions. All right, there we go. This is the Ares Expedition, Discovery, Foundations, and Crisis. So it's all 3 expansions. When it goes to retail, these are all going to be boxed separately. One of the things of the Kickstarter was being able to get the big box to put everything inside of. And of course, you hear all this clankety clankety, which currently tells me that everything's not fitting in here properly. I did open it as usual. Don't remember if I punched anything. We'll find out when we get inside. But of course, this is the big box with the 3 expansions. Discovery has new card mechanics, awards, milestones. Foundations increases the player count up to 6 players. And then Crisis has an all-new cooperative mode where instead of trying to build Mars and terraform it, you instead are trying to keep it terraformed. Hopefully we'll like that a little bit better. We've struggled with the regular co-op mode, so we do need to play this as non-co-op as well as try out the new Crisis mode to see if we like it better. If not, this might end up as a calling for charity game, but we will see. Let's go ahead and get the lid off, I guess. So, forgot to go to the normal thing, of course. 1 to 6 players now, 14 plus, 60 minutes. I don't know if that's 60 minutes per player or 60 minutes total. I don't think we've ever played it in 60 minutes. Kickstarter exclusive tells you the list of components that you're getting that are exclusive. So that is the clear cubes for the temperature. They're reduced to 12 millimeter to 8 millimeter so that they fit on their tracks. Narrower cube trays, make it a little thinner so you have more options to store. Updated game board with 2 optional sides, so there's actually a bigger side now and a smaller side. 6 more promo cards, and then a future printings will provide the following, which is an optional setup step 6. You can shuffle the ocean tiles and stack them beside the board instead. And then the bottom note, this box contains all 3 expansions, and then there is initial saying where it's from. All right. So the rules for Discovery. Nice little flavor text at the top, an overview, contents, what comes in it, setup, upgrade, milestones, and the awards. So that's what it said. This one added was the awards. There is a new wild tag, and then a variant. So there's a drafting variant, which a lot of people like the drafting in regular Terraforming Mars, so that might add a lot. So basically, the corporation cards are dealt. Players draft their starting projects. Each player chooses 1 of 8 project cards to keep, passing the remaining. You can also do an advanced play variant, the original rules that allows you to discard unwanted project cards and redraw cards that you discarded. This would happen after you draft and before you choose. So I'm wondering if the drafting might actually be kind of helpful. Does it? Okay, so you basically draft the 8 cards that you start with and then choose your corporation. That might be helpful because then you know what your cards are to know which corporation will help you. And then 2-player dummy hand. We've already played the dummy hand on the channel. Quasi. We didn't have these cards. We just used the cards that came in the box. But this is basically just as the 3rd player, you're revealing the cards and you get to do whatever actions they do as well. You get to, I believe, reveal theirs first and then you get to reveal yours. But by the start of the phase, reveal a random card from the dummy. Yeah. So you resolve them first. You see what they're going to do and you're already going to get. And then you get to choose what you want to play. So we've already done that. If you guys want to see how that plays, up on the YouTubes. This is the foundation. So again, overview, components. So this adds the extra player, so you get another set of dual player cards, supplemental scoreboard, larger scoreboard, and then the new infrastructure track. That goes up, tells you about the setup. Step 3, shuffle all new project cards into the project deck. Okay, which we would do anyways. 4, first time playing this expansion, replace the corporation card in Ventrix with the adaptation technology and special design from the base game. Gameplay, infrastructure, in-game, discovery. Is this the first time you've seen upgraded phase cards? They're first included in Discovery, so this had the upgraded phase cards. So it's saying to learn more about the upgraded phase cards, go to Discovery. So if you don't own Discovery, because you bought it at retail, I don't know what you're supposed to do. And then this is Crisis. So like I said, this is the one where instead of trying to terraform Mars, you're trying to keep it terraform. So it has 10 dummy cards. So these are better than just using a default deck of cards, because there's actually 2 actions on each one. And I don't think you choose the action. I think it's when you shuffle, then you flip it over. I don't know. I'd have to read in here what it says to do with that. And then here you've got the setup of the planet, and then the gameplay differences, resolving your actions, crisis cards, which are going to cause levels to go up and down, draw a card from the dummy hand, planning phase, face down actions, VP bank, cards with negative VT. In a 2-player game, draw 1 card from the dummy hand. Both players will resolve the phase if it's been chosen by the player. You may choose to play the same phase from your card, so you can get the bonus. Draw 1 or 2 cards from the dummy hand based on your player count. The effect of the cards varies. Once all dummy player cards have been revealed, shuffle them face down and start the next round. If you need to draw phase cards and there are none, playing solo, shuffle all the phase cards face down. Doesn't say what side of the dummy card you're supposed to use. Unless that's for solo. Have 2 phases on them. Okay, so it's for solo. Draw both and choose which phase you want to play. Okay, so solo, you get to choose the phase. For 2-player, it doesn't specifically say that you choose. It just says reveal the card, so I'm guessing you're going to play whatever's on the top. I don't know. End of game, and you can make it more difficult. For your first 3 games, you should add a tier 3 0 crisis card from the top of the deck once it has been formed. Once you've won a few times, try to win without them. Yeah, so we would probably definitely be playing on beginner. Right, so new tokens here. So we have the award tokens. So for example, Visionary. First one to get it gets 5, second one gets 2. Most upgraded cards. And then we have these here. So you have Legend, Energizer, Farmer, and Space Baron. I forget what these were. I don't remember seeing them in the rulebook. So we will pop all these guys out real quick, throw them over here. And then these are your events, it looks like. So ocean decreased by the heat, or I don't know what the other one is. I guess the biome by 1, whatever the 2 red dots are. Then you have temperature, oxygen, and then a bunch of warning cards. All right. See if I can get these punched out quickly for us, so that way it doesn't take too much time in the reboxing. I guess I could save this to the end and just do it as part of reboxing, but I think this is it. I think it's just these 3. All right. Well, I apologize. There's more than 3. So more of the objectives: generator, the most heat production; project manager, most cards in play; researcher, the most science. Lots of objectives. That's, again, for a versus game, that's going to be really useful for scoring extra additional points of the game. Always nice to have objectives. That's one thing that, for Audrey, she likes having objectives, things that she can look at and focus on. So these little tiles are used for the wild. So anytime you have a wild card, then you can change it to whatever you want it to be. These little guys pop out pretty good. So yeah, so having those objectives actually be nice if we do decide to play versus. And it looks like, okay, so they are double-sided. So they're flippable. So now the question is, so they're double-sided no matter what. So they got the same things. So these have the science and the earth, the pawls, and I forget what the little yellow things are. It's been a while since we've played. Now, because we've said not to say we don't like this, it's just, it has not impressed us much. Not to say we've enjoyed it or not enjoyed it. It wasn't something that really, stood out to us. And that's why we're debating whether or not we want to get Arc Nova. But a lot of people in the... I lost that guy. He went somewhere. Oh, he's down here. A lot of people in a couple of my videos where I'm doing the top 10, top 25 of community choice, which of course Arc Nova has been number 1 a couple times. People are saying that, it's not the same game, even though it's being compared. And that people that didn't like Terraforming Mars or Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition actually really liked, dang it, I did it again, really liked Arc Nova. So I'm debating picking up Arc Nova. It was on sale, but the problem is I didn't need any other games, so shipping kind of ruined it being on sale. So probably wait and see until I need a couple other games, maybe pick that up. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see me and Oddity play it. Some more point tokens. I don't even know if I'll need these, because I think I've got these in the base game. Unless these are different. We'll have to see when we open up the base game. Alright, so more of these. And then these are the new water tiles. Let me get the rest of these little ones out of here. Alright, so these are your water tiles. So you got Mars on one side, water on the other. Pop, pop, pop. Hexagons are the bestagons, right? That's what they say. All right, and then we got our new player boards. So these add into the existing board, so we'll do that. We'll show that. And this is the VP Bank. So crisis setup, put a predetermined tokens into play based on metrics. Resolve the persistent effects of all crisis cards in play. Draw a card from the crisis deck and resolve immediately. Draw a card from the dummy hand. Planning step, resolve phase steps, end steps. You may spend 2 VP to remove 1 crisis counter at any time. All right, so that is VP. All right, so player boards, like their player boards. Love, or I don't want to say love the player board, but again, we love dual layer player boards. This has dual layer player boards. So these are the new maps. So you get 2 different maps. One is for the regular game, and then the other one is for the new mode. The difference, guessing this one's for the new mode? Which one's for the new mode? There's one with a water drop and one without a water drop. One with the water drop. So yeah. So this is for the new mode. So it's got the water drop on the bottom of it. But then you can take both boards, which was cool that they did this. I don't even remember them saying they were going to do this in the Kickstarter. But you can take both boards and just combine them. So that way all of your tracks are bigger. Or no, this is just a smaller board. I thought you're supposed to be able to combine these 2 boards. I thought that's what they say. Okay, no, so it's just half the planet. Never mind. I thought you could combine them. For some reason I was thinking combine them, but no, it's half the board, but you have the same number of tiles instead of being the full planet. But that makes all of these bigger, because that was one complaint a lot of people had, where those were too small. Now, if you have the add-on boards, right? So this add-on board goes here, and if you have the other side, do you have that board? No. So you still have to add this board, which is fine. It still sits up in there fine, so that works. And then your other board is the larger player track for the points. But again, if you're on the new board, you again don't technically need it because you have this side, right? So these are a lot bigger spaces, so your cubes are going to fit onto it. So these are really needed for the old boards if you wanted them. A lot of people wanted it. I almost feel like this was pointless. Now that they've made it, I feel like, what was the point of this particular board when you can just flip it over now? This honestly would solve the problem. So they solved a problem for something that didn't have a problem. Yeah, because this actually only goes up to 25 too. It doesn't even go past 25. So I'm really confused why they did that. Now what's weird though is their boards were already kind of pre-built to contain something in the future. So the question is, were these planned for expansions, for this specific expansion? Was this actually planned for a different expansion and now they didn't do it because they made this? We will have to wait and see. All right, so these are our cubes. So they should be the same as what's in the base box. So we have just regular black and white cubes, so nothing fancy there. But then we have the pearlescent cubes, which I like. I didn't get the metal cubes because I actually like the pearlescent cubes. So the Kickstarter was going when we played it, and I kind of mentioned that in our playthroughs. Like, I like these. I think these are really cool. Better than just a plain gray or plain gold cube, right? So let's see here. This is the gold one, if I can get into them real quick. I'm gonna have to open these up anyways to put them in the trays. But then there is the gold ones. I like that. That's just really cool. I wish more people would do just something fancy with the cubes rather than just being a plain cube. And then, oh yeah, I forgot. Then the clear cube. There's a clear cube, I think, was new. They said they added that in one of the pages I read, right? All right. These are the Kickstarter promos. We'll go over those last. I have another bag. I don't know what that's for because you gave me inserts. 2 more clear cubes. So we have 2 more clear cubes. Then we have our divider cards. And we have player aids. And then we have another player aid. So what's the difference? Game is played over the course of several rounds. Planning, resolve, and end game. Resolve phase process. Is it just because of the number of players? This is probably the default 4. Yeah, 4. Okay, so it's just 6 players. So now you have 6 player aids. That's kind of weird that they did it that way. Which technically I've got player aids in here, so I'm really not sure why they gave you more than 2, unless there's a correction in the reprint. All right, so we have our trays, which I'm not really a fan of the extra space by having the trays in there. Bunch of baggies. Then we have, well, what's this? Oh, so this is the more promo cards. And then, let's see here. So these are the events, maybe? Yeah, event cards. So, for example, here we go. Distress signal. What is that? Tharsa City, please respond. A large asteroid touchdown in the forest to the south. The shockwaves have leveled nearly all of our factories and infrastructure. Large swaths of forest have been cut from the sunlight and ravaged by the residual earthquakes. Without them, our atmospheric oxygen levels are going to begin to crash. If you receive this signal, please send any help you can. There's no telling how long we can hold out before we run out of supplies. And it says discard this card, tier 0, all people. So I'm not sure how that interacts. We'll have to look at the rules when we go to play it. And then emergency shelters. This is persistent. Looks like it brings down temperature. Draw a card, decrease temperature 1 step. And then there's some kind of notification down here at the bottom. So these are your tier 1s, tier 2s. How far do they go? Tier 5. And then there's tier 2 for, okay, so it's for player count. So these are for all players. So these say all. These are for 1 player. And then it goes to, this is for 2 players. And then this is for 3 players. So yeah. Those are those. What do we got next? So these are the action phase cards. So the only difference here is it should have the new bonus. Yeah. So they got the bonuses, but you can also upgrade the cards. Yeah, there we go. So you also have the ability to upgrade the card. So the default here says that each player gets 1 green, blah, blah, blah. But then your bonus originally is pay 3 less credits for the card you play this phase. The upgraded version says reduce the cost of the card you play this turn by 6. So it basically doubles that amount. The construction upgrade, I guess we should do 1-to-1 to kind of compare here. I don't know where to put the extra card. Construction, so originally it's draw a card or play an additional blue or red. This one, draw a card and you may play, so you get to do both. All right. For the action, it was you may activate 1 action an additional time. The bonus becomes you may repeat 2 actions. So that means you get to do 2 instead of 1. Production, you go from gaining 4 credits to gaining 7 credits. Research, you go from draw an additional 3 cards and keep 1 to draw 2 cards and keep 2. So additional 2. So basically you get to just keep a total of 3 cards. And this one you got to keep a total of 2 cards, although you get to look at more cards. I don't know if that's actually as good of an upgrade. All right, and then we're back to development again because it repeats itself. All right, and then let's see if the new double cards are at the end. Nope, we got into technology cards. Yep, so you got just your technology cards, cargo ships. Let's see if we can find one of the wilds. No wilds here. And there's the new faction, Inventrix. At the start of the game, draw 3 cards. You start with 33 credits. Effects: when playing a card with the requirements, you may consider infrastructure, oxygen, or temperature one color higher or lower. This cannot be modified further by other effects. Okay. Again, not sure if that's good or bad. The curse of not playing this in a while is I forgot all about the rules that I didn't remember probably when we played the live playthrough. All right, so what do we got here? Looks like more event cards, and then so it does go into your tier 2 4-player cards. All right, so we will put those with these. Key. All right, and then so here are the dummy cards. So basically, it just has the effects, but it's on 2 different sides based on how you're playing. And then that's the entire deck. So, yeah, crisis dummy cards. It says crisis dummy cards, but technically you could use them in the regular variant as well. There's not really anything different about the card. It's the same thing. Each player may play 1 project card. So, I don't know why they put crisis dummy cards, except for that's the set that it came in. But you can honestly, like I said, play it in any set. These are during play, remove these cards if you draw them. Any card with oxygen requirements. Any card that references milestones. And then these 3 name cards. Okay, so these are for the crisis. Some cards are not compatible. So if you don't want to take your deck apart, it basically says these cards can't be played. And then you have your turn order for crisis. And then 3 more factions or corporations. Burn Star, start with 46 MC. When you pay for whatever the little black star thing is again, you pay 3 less, only when playing crisis mode. So use only, so these are factions only for crisis mode. Okay, so all 4 of these are only for crisis mode. Effect: when you play a card with a printed of 18 or more, remove a counter from the crisis. This one you start with 1 credit production and 40. Okay, so you get a production right off the bat. Only use when in crisis mode. When you remove a counter from crisis card in play during the resolve, gain 2 credits. You start with 38 credits. You and another player each gain 2 credits. If you're playing solo, you gain 3 instead. Start with 44 credits. Give 1 card in hand to another player. They may give 1 card in hand to you. If you're playing solo, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to keep those separate. I'll have to see how the dividers are. All right, and then we got V-Swan. So these are these are more upgraded. All right. These are more upgraded cards, I guess, to go with your original because I think there's definitely not enough here for 6 decks. So these are upgraded cards for the original. And then let's see if we can find a wild. That's what I was looking for. Wild. Okay, I've not seen a single wild. Oh, there we go. Holy cow. Don't tell me that's the only wild card. This is my last deck of cards. Like, that's kind of pointless. You introduce, 2. You introduced a new mechanic. You've given me a total of 2 cards that use it. 3. Yeah, you've given me 3 cards that use that new mechanic. That's kind of unsatisfying, I guess, for lack of better words. All right, and we have 4 more corporations. Start with 33, upgrade your phase 2 card. Oh, so you get to upgrade your phase 2 right up from the beginning. Effect when you play a science, draw a card. Start with 26, upgrade your phase 4 card. Cards you discard are worth more, 1 additional extra credit. So here's my question with these. Would these be unbalanced for or against the old corporations, right? Because these are starting with their cards already upgraded. The original corporations aren't. So unless these are the originals, but then that's still only 4, so that doesn't make sense. Start with 30, upgrade your phase 3, gain 1 credit. If you choose this action phase, this turn gain an additional credit. That's a money hungry one there. And then start with 38, upgrade your phase 1. Effect when you play a purple lightning bolt thingy, including this, gain 2 heat. So put them up there. All right. Promo. Here are my promo cards. So what are these ones? Get some more promo cards. So yeah. So okay. So more factions, and then you get Mars University, Central Mars University. When you play a science, including this, you may discard a card. That card had a... I don't know what that icon is. Oh, plant leaf? Yeah, it's not very green. Draw 2 cards, otherwise draw 8 card. Okay, we'll just put you in the pile. So Arclights, Celestior. So more new corporations. You start with 43 VC. This is worth 1 more VP per 2 animals. When you play an animal or plant, including these, add it to the card. Start with 50 MC. Reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. Place the card with any downward arrow revealed this way into your hand. Discard the rest. DevTex. At the start of the game, reveal the top 5 cards of the deck. Place a green card that was revealed this way into your hand. Discard the rest. You may start 40 MC. Or you start, not you may. You actually get to start with 40. And then effect when you play a green card 2 less. Start of the game, reveal cards from the deck until you reveal blue. Put in your hand, discard the rest. Start with 36. When you play a blue card, you get 3. You pay 3 less. At the start of the game, play a card from your hand that costs 12 or less without paying the cost. The requirements of this card must be fulfilled. You start with 48 MC. When you play a green card, draw a card, then discard a card. Was that still the first one? Or no, Arclight was the first one. Start a game, draw 5 cards and discard 4 cards. You start with 43. Effect, when you flip an ocean tile, gain 2 MC and 2 plants. So that's, that really probably wouldn't work in the other mode. So, all right. So that was that. All right, so upgraded phase cards. All right, so I guess we're going to need the dividers at some point anyways. Yeah, we're going to see if this all goes back in the box. Upgraded phase cards, project cards with upgrade phase, project cards with awards or milestones. Okay, so if you to separate the different cards, which I did not even look at. Okay, so right here, this has the points. Okay, there was an icon. I just noticed. Okay, so there's a U icon. So it's got a little U. So that's how you know where they go. Not all of them have a U. See, that doesn't have a U. I guess if you mix them all together, who cares? I don't know if it really matters. Upgrade a phase card, add 3 microbes or 2 animals to another card. Yeah, so I guess if you're not playing the upgrades, then those cards won't do you any good. Well, you just can't activate that ability. Because this one's was in the same pack. When you play a down arrow card, effect when you play a down arrow card. What's the effect? Oh, the purple. Duh. Yeah, see, now I gotta sort all these. That wasn't in the books for me. I'll sort them later. I'm just gonna put them all in here. Put all the cards back behind this one. Cards back behind that one. We just want to see if it all can fit in the box. And then we have our 5+ project cards. I don't remember having 5+ project cards. And then what's in here? All right, so Crisis Mode, Corpse, Dummy Phase cards, Crisis Tier 0, Player 1, Player 2, Player 3, Player 4 cards. Okay, so Crisis Mode only Corpse were here. Crisis Dummy cards, here. Crisis Tier 0 cards and so forth. We'll just put them all in the back. The one thing that it didn't have is something for the player aids, which is kind of annoying. There was nothing that said Crisis player aids, so we'll just put those behind the Crisis 0 cards. All right, and then these are the corporation cards, which they didn't give you a new divider, so I guess I'm just going to get mixed in with the regular corporation cards, which kind of doesn't work though, because there are corporations that only work if you have the upgraded phase cards. Or yeah, some of them you can only do that. It's weird. Like, they seem to be so good about dividing the rest of it. That's kind of weird. All right, so this was the promo, the Terraforming Mars AE expansion promo cards. So this is just the expansion promo cards. So they don't all have, but some of them do. So this one has an A down in the very bottom. That's the icon I was talking about. Let's see if we can get focus. Yeah, so there you go. So these are the award cards. And then here's the U. So the U are the upgrade. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Yeah, that little U right there. Any of you have the wild symbol? Nope. No wild symbols. All right. Again, we're just throwing all of them back here. We'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that later. You guys don't deal with it. So we get a couple more corporations. Holy cow, we got a ton of corporations. Start with 25, upgrade a phase card. On your reveal an upgraded phase card, gain 2. Start with 13, choose a tag and add it to this card. Okay, so here's a wild. Reveal the top 4 cards of the deck. Place a card with a tag that matches this corporation revealed into your hand. Discard the rest. Start with 35. Use only when playing Crisis Mode, so this is a Crisis Mode only one. Start of the planning step. If there's at least 1 detriment token in play, gain 1 heat or 1 plant. Start with 58. Use only when playing 5+ players. If you choose the same phase as another player during the planning step, gain an MC. Start with 42. Choose a tag, add it to it, so another one with the wild. Place a cube of your color on a milestone of your choice. Use only when playing with milestones. When you gain the milestone with your player cube on it, you gain 3 TR. So yeah, we'll deal with sorting those out later as well. All right, and then this is the Terraforming Mars CG promos. I'm not sure if these are the same ones that I already had. Because there's Arclight again. All right, so maybe those other ones were upgrades from these. So let me go back to those because I'm getting duplicate places now. All right. So this Arclight was in the promo box. Start with 43, start with 43, 1, 1, effect. No, they're the same. So I don't know why I've got these extra ones. So I'm going to put them back in the box. I'll double check that I don't need these. But might be a giveaway in our future. But yeah, these are, yeah, these seem like the regular promo cards, but I got some of them here. Oh yeah, so these are the original promo cards from the Kickstarter. And because I got this, my original game on Amazon, I picked these up. It looks like some of them were already in there. So now I'm gonna have to double check each of these cards against those promos. All right, so let's see if we can get everything back in here. So let me see how I did. trays and everything originally. So we have our manuals, manuals. Put all our player boards. Try to get some of the stuff out of my way to make it a little bit cleaner. All right, I got tiles. All right, some more player boards. 4 more. Then the old player board. So I don't think I need the old player board anymore, right? Yeah, so the box just says this. So this will go into the recycle bin. So you go up there, you're gonna get recycled. Your phase tokens, your old, or the old tokens. That's a good question. I only got 4 of those. Oh, the other 2 colors are black and white, I think now. Okay. So I wanted to see, did they change something with the player aids, or did I just get duplicates because that's what they did? Planning step, resolve step. That's the same. Looks like it's all the same. And it looks like it's all the same. So we have extra player aids now. So, yep, that's fine. Extra player aids. All right. These 2, as you can see, they were flying around in there because that's what they did. So here are the original trays. I don't know if you're going to need both because you had that already. So there's the original games cards. In the original, you had little foam to keep them in place. So that doesn't completely fill this up. So if you sleeve, it looks like you're gonna have a little bit of room. All right, so let's move this up here. So we have how many trays? 1. Let's see. So these will fit on the bottom, so I can keep these trays technically. If I do that, and just make these duplicates of each other. Oh no, come here you. Oh, okay, that's what they did. See, so here's the old white cube, or the old clear cubes, or big clear cubes. All right, so let's see how we can do this, guys. All right. So we're going to put these. This will just divide them up between 2 different trays. Yeah. It looked like the silver. I was getting an optical illusion like it was a different size, but they're actually the same size. All right. So the old ones in there. Baggies. Of course, we're gonna have tons of baggies to dispose of. And the copper goes here. Okay. And moss copper there. There, now I get to have one on my side. Oddly gets to have one on her side. All right. And then the rest of the gold. That was the other reason I didn't increase it. Like, not that we would ever play at a higher player count, but don't really need more resources. So I didn't pick up the metal resources because I would want to pick up, you know, an equal number to replace what we had. So these are the here. Put these in here. Sure, why not? We'll put these in here. What else do we got? So I have one more tray that I can use. That's a big tray. That's a big tray. Little tray. Little tray. All right. Get all those in there. Although I should probably put these somewhere where they're guaranteed to be pulled out. And this tray may not always get pulled out. We'll just put them in here with the silver guys. All right. And then we have the upgrade tokens, but there's a whole bunch of those. I don't really want those to be mixed, but I don't really have enough space for all of them. The player colors, it's just easier to keep them separated, I think. Another white cube, clear cube there. All right, so let's get another little bag. We'll separate our black and our white pieces for the other players. And this was disappointing too. Like, they did this nice transparent for the originals, and then these are solid. I think they should have been transparent too. You could have been, you know, transparent blackish gray color and a transparent white. Would have worked fine. But oh well. Oh well. All right. Do that there. Do that there. All right. So if we take all of the awards, I guess they can fit in there. Take all of these point thingies. They don't really fit in that one. Ah, yeah, they fit like that. That works. All those can go in there. So put you down there, two down there, two here, two here. All right, what else we got? We got these. And then we got these. And then we got all of these, which I didn't want to mix them, but oh well. It doesn't seem that they're going to be used that often. From the looks of the cards, I think I saw 5 cards that had the wild token on them. So that lid there, that lid there. Lots more plastic baggies. I get plastic baggies, and because some people might, but there's nothing in this game that needs this size baggies. Not when you have this many trays, right? So the trays don't really stay. I wonder if it'd be better to put them this way. No. And it won't go all the way down to the bottom. That's kind of disappointing. There's nothing to keep them from moving around depending how you store your box. So you're just going to slide around. That's disappointing. That's Casper, actually. So it's fine. We'll throw all these down in there. Put the parades there, I guess. Now the unfortunateness of this. There, put those there. Nope, you were too wide. Ah, see? Should have made this slightly smaller, guys. That way it could fit there. And it just kind of weirdly sits here, I guess. So I think this is the top, so everything's going to come down this way. So having the cards there may or may not have been the best idea. Oh, I know. Hang on. Aha! Foam blocks from the original. Aha, Will. Don't ever say I don't use my noggin. There we go. That works. And then you can just throw these guys on top of there. Not like they're going to stay, but, you know, they'll probably fall down in there eventually. All right, that there. This there. And lid on, like so. And there is no lid lift. All right, guys, there you go. That is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. The 3 new expansions in the big box. Put all the stuff inside. Lots of rambling. If you guys want to see this gameplay, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let us know, again, what you think of Terraforming Mars, at least Ares Expedition in comparison to Ark Nova, or Ark Nova in compared to that. If you think we're not enjoying this, but we would enjoy the other, or think that we're doing something wrong, and then there's a mode that we might enjoy better, let us know down in the comments. But until next time, guys, peace.